Hi, I'm Andy with OnPath. You can join me at onpath.health to sign up for Zoom sessions. We have 2 a week. One is in moving meditation and one is in guided meditation. So I'm on a bit early today. It's a Thursday, so I get to come out and play and tune in for some meditation. So while we wait, I'll talk to you a little bit about guided meditation and meditation in general. There's a lot of reasons why we would choose to meditate or to relax. There's a lot of ways to think about it. And that's probably one of the biggest reasons why people are interested in meditation is for the relaxation part. And that's a beautiful reason. There's lots of great guided meditations and self-meditations and breathing techniques and yoga, and there's all kinds of ways to go about it. There are probably more reasons than you could count why we would choose to do something like that. Taking time with ourselves and moving into a state of inner communion, as well as connecting with a sense of spiritual connection or connection with our environment, with nature, with the universe. Those are some of the reasons that often call me into the practice of meditation, as well as meditating on a problem, right? So sometimes something is happening emotionally, mentally, or in life situations, and we don't know what to do, and we think about it, and we talk to friends, and we get some help, and sometimes we're just chewing on it, and then what we find is if we can dial into ourselves and relax into what's going on, that there might be a solution that's available to us that might not show up on a pro and cons list, that might not be the logical choice, or it might not be something we would generally consider. So meditating with an idea in mind is also really helpful. So a lot of times someone will hear me say, I'll meditate on that. So that just means I'm going to tune in, I'm going to see what's going on, I'm going to get into the feelings, the deeper feelings behind those. I'm going to, let things ruminate. I might even be in contemplation and thinking about stuff. Meditation doesn't mean that your mind empties. It can happen, but it's much like a dream cycle or a sleep cycle where you go through different states of brainwave frequencies, and that does something different in the physiology of the body. So much like that, we would move out of the beta, hyper-analytical stress mode, perhaps external thinking, into alpha state, which is light meditation, creative, intuitive, being in the flow, being in the zone, that internal and external awareness. Theta state is that we might associate, I believe, with dreaming. That would be where the brain gets to process some stuff and the body is relaxed enough that it's nice and opened up. And then we'd spend a certain amount of time in our dream cycle in delta, which is basically the slowest, I think there actually might be another level slower than that, but one of the slowest levels of cycles of thought per second. And so the brain is really relaxing and the body really gets a chance to do some serious healing. So much like that in meditation, we might go through some of those stages. So when we experience something like a delta state while we're awake, that's when it feels like we're not thinking, thoughts are so slow, we're very spacious. If there's enough quiet in the environment, we might lose track of being in the body. And that's not the same as disassociating with the body. It's just that you're in this space that is kind of bigger than the experience of being who we are in a physical form. So again, lots of great reasons to practice meditation and lots of ways to go about it. We all have personal ways. Prayer could be another way to look at meditation. And so when we are practicing meditation towards that internal awareness, communion of the self and communion of spirit or the universe, that's another way that we could begin to orientate ourselves in maybe a different way than we might normally do, where the mind can relax and calm down. And when the mind calms down, the heart rests, and we can maybe get into some heart-mind coherence, body coherence. Body begins to relax, and then that's when some of that more intuitive or spaciousness kind of experience happens. When we do that with guided meditation or a guided journey, we might be self-guiding. We also might be following along with the guide, and that's eventually what we all end up doing, is coming up with our own version of what suits us best. Then we have our favorite meditations or music or nature environments or things that help us to relax. So when we tune in with a guided journey, especially with something like an energy meditation where there's also an intention, oftentimes intentions are very much a part of meditation as well. That could be a positive affirmation, or like I said, might be working through something in life, a problem or whatever, a decision to make. And so instead of getting bent out of shape and pulled everywhere, we can concentrate ourselves within, and that answer might make its way out. So that intention is a very powerful part of the experience. So if I can put myself into, lack of a better term, a trance or hypnosis, self-hypnosis, or like a hypnotic receptive state, that's really all it means, is that we let down some of the guards, make sure our environment is safe enough. And if it's safe enough and I have enough time, it could be a minute, it could be 30 minutes, it could be an hour, it could be 5 minutes, or whatever we've got. If you're in a time constraint, and you think you might space out, set a timer for yourself. But once we get a sense of the environment, the time constraints, and what our purpose is, relax. I don't even want to do a guided thing. I just want to breathe and relax and let stress go. Am I in communion with myself? Am I solving an issue? Am I doing some self-work? A lot of times you hear shadow work, but basically the process of looking inside and feeling and seeing what's there, which can be scary. I know. That's some of the things that we distract ourselves from. So instead of being distracted, we come inside, we have a look, we feel things, and we do that in a more controlled situation, more relaxed, so that something doesn't trigger us, or we don't lose control of ourselves and do something that we might not have wished to do. So it's going to have to come out. So nowadays it's called shadow work. So that's an important part of what we do. So having a guided journey, guided meditation, and having some intention, we can also begin to build up our energy body. Well, it's already there, but we can build up our awareness, our connection, and our influence and interaction, our relationship with ourselves, physical body, the heart, feelings, mind, awareness. But then there's also the world, the universe, and whatever we perceive to be our highest self and spirit and soul and things of that nature. So a guided meditation can also really help to bring things into focus and call your attention to breathing and body awareness and paying attention to emotions and thoughts and things like that. And we can also build up our energy field in the process. So I like to think about it in terms of physics and chemistry, electromagnetic field, your aura, your guardian field, your buffer, your personal space. So when we begin to expand our awareness beyond what is easy to see and feel through our senses, then we begin to build ourselves or orientate ourselves with something that we are already, And we can do that through meditation, moving meditation, and other things like that. So while we take a journey together here in a few minutes, it's about time to start our session. I would take a few minutes. I was ready early and talk about meditation and guided meditation. So that's a lot of what we'll be doing together. I like to dial in and out of a few different things. It's nice to relax. So whatever is relevant to you and what you feel connected with, that's what, go with it. And if you hit a sweet spot and the guided meditation's going somewhere and you're just in your own space, that's the best place to be. And then you can always jump back in. So we'll have a kind of purpose behind what we're doing and build up the skill of getting in tune with our energy, our soul, our spirit, getting in tune with what's happening with our minds, our feelings, our body. And one of the other reasons to meditate that I haven't talked about yet is it puts us in the healing mode. So it takes us out of the short-term survival, stress, fight, flight, hide, all that kind of stuff, into long-term thriving. And then when we, in a best case scenario, we learn how to practice relaxing and centering and expanding ourselves and becoming strong internally while connecting with the external world. We do that when times are easy. We choose to practice so we get the skill. And then when we're out in the world and life's happening, then we can easily get to the eye of the storm. We can find a central focus. We can, act with wisdom and compassion and harmony rather than overreacting or underreacting, both equally not so good. So that's what we'll be working on, is bringing the body into that self-healing state. And that's where the tissues and the cells and organs and the systems and immunological function and all kinds of things really get more of our energy, gets more of our blood, our oxygen, rather than being prepared to deal with some stress. So about that time, and go ahead and take a minute to get yourself ready. We do start with a little bit of exercise, warming up, and some moving meditation, which helps to work out the kinks, so it's a nice balance. We'll do just a little bit of that, and then mostly stillness meditation, and probably a little bit of movement at the end. So if that's not what you're looking for right now, you can just kind of hang out and breathe and relax for a few minutes while we stretch or jump in. You might find that it's helpful, but you also might be spent, and so maybe you just take a little bit of quiet time. If you're watching the replay, you could always fast forward to where we start the meditation. So we'll do a little bit of movement, a little bit of stillness, moving meditation, warm up, and then most of what we'll be doing is working up some of the skill of meditation. There's a lot of possible outcomes of a meditation session, and with a guided journey, there's an intention and there's some things to become aware of. If you get tuned into those, great. If you don't, great. It's all good. And then, along the way, we get to relax, we get to tune in, get to energize, and so let's play.